ticks slow, the moon hangs low, the
It's the 1940s. Whereas your grandpa might have been working in the coal mines as a 3-year-old, you are required to be in school. In the US, education for minors, that's minors with an O, not an E, was not always mandatory or guaranteed. But by the 1940s, kids your age have managed to grow your own little culture away from your parents at school. Further separating kids from adults were child labor laws, which limited child participation in the workforce. For the most part, kids were no longer expected to support their families by earning wages. For the first time in American history, children and adults were finally becoming separate entities, divided by real social differences. While this gap was widening, another age group emerged, the between ages, or teenagers. These were minors who were not quite children, but not quite adults either. Teenagers were still expected to be at school, but they could also earn money by joining the workforce, as child labor laws backed off a little when it came to the teenage years. In the year 1942, Maureen Dawley released the book 17th Summer, a romance novel written explicitly for teenage girls. It was the first time teenagers could read a book marketed exactly towards them. Thus, following the emergence of the teenager, a new genre was born, the young adult genre. The term was first coined by the Young Adult Library Services Association in the 1970s and refers to the ages between 12 and 18 years old. The first golden age of the young adult genre dawned during the 1970s, championed by authors like Judy Blume and Robert Cormier. The former, Judy Blume, has become one of the most censored young adult authors in history. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, one of Blume's first novels, has been banned since the beginning due to its candid mentionings of menstruation, puberty, and sexuality. Cormier's book, The Chocolate War, has also had its share of fire because of its sexual content, language, and violence. Even one of the earliest American children's books, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain, has faced censorship since its release in 1884. So, as long as there have been young adult novels, there have been book bans. Just since the year 2021, nearly 16,000 unique young adult books have been challenged or banned according to PEN America. Educators, parents, students, librarians, and, according to Harvard's Elaine McArdle, even the vast majority of both major political parties are against book bans. Marina Dunbar for The Guardian warns that book bans are an early sign of authoritarianism, likening the mass book exodus to the book burnings of Nazi Germany and calling the book bans strategies of cultural censorship and intellectual suppression. But what does banning a book even do? You might be confused by the fact that you can still order the book off of Amazon or any other bookseller site. PEN America defines a book ban as any action taken against a book that leads to access being restricted or diminished. This means that banned books will no longer be circulated at a specific public library or school, wherever the book is banned. A book that is challenged has been pulled from shelves, but awaits review to be officially banned. Most banned books have not yet been officially banned, but are pending an investigation. As the young adult genre took off, the civil rights movement was taking ground in the U.S. Because of the timing, more authors and characters of color were becoming popular in the young adult world. Intriguingly, the books which have faced the most censorship either delve into issues of LGBTQ+ themes or issues of race, effectively censoring people of color. Dr. Debbie Reese, a scholar and activist, warns of the repercussions of book banning. With their campaigns, they are taking away mirrors for kids who so desperately need and deserve to see themselves in books. And they're depriving others of windows into other people's lives, windows that provide perspectives that they didn't have access to before. Here, Dr. Rees is referencing an article from 1990 titled Mirrors, Windows, and Sliding Glass Doors by Rudine Sims Bishop. In the article, Bishop introduces the windows and mirrors analogy, which argues that books serve as windows into other perspectives, offering views of worlds that may be real or imagined. In the right conditions, these windows can form mirrors, which provide a reflection of the people we are. Professors Sean Connors and Roberta Seelinger-Treitz argue that reading literature improves our capacity for empathy and understanding. Citing a 2013 article, the two state that people who read fiction are better able to understand other people, empathize with them, and view the world from their perspective. Books help us see each other and ourselves. Books teach us empathy. And, in a world divided by race and beliefs, books can bring us together. Empathy brings us together. One example of a banned book providing windows and mirrors into other perspectives is More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera. The book follows a young teen who turns to suicide after his own father kills himself for the shame of having a gay son. Set in a universe where doctors can offer memory-altering procedures, Aaron, the main protagonist, attempts to erase his queerness, identifying it as the source of all his problems. However, the book later reveals that this can't work. Queerness can't and will never be truly erased. A complication with the procedure manifests itself in the form of anterograde amnesia. Despite this harsh sentence, Aaron pledges to be true to himself and chooses to look to the future for hope. For a young, closeted gay teen, reading this book could save their life. This book could be a mirror for someone like Aaron who would rather be dead than be gay. What harm from reading books could possibly outweigh that impact? What are we protecting our children from that they aren't already experiencing? Connors and Seelinger-Treitz report that their students all admitted that they had already known about many themes and elements adults considered too controversial or too adult. Why must we take away these windows and mirrors then? And can they really be taken away? I don't think so, which is why I chose to say that book banning interrupts representation. It doesn't end it. Representation will find its way despite attempts at censorship. Book banning poses a real threat to representation, but representation persists beyond.